is like always one every summer. There is one at any given time, one gnat flying around my face. I feel like Pigpen on Charlie Brown show is always a gnat. Just one. I could kill it and there'd be another one, but only one at a time. So, hi, Ray. How are you? Welcome to the replay. Welcome to Daily Fuel. My name is Bobby, and I am the host of this amazing, fantabulous group that I really love. If you're watching in the replay, then let me know that you're in the replay. Put a hashtag. Right, hashtag, God, I missed it again, and I'm in the replay. Put that. I don't know how you spell that, but put it. Anything, make one up. Make up a hashtag, whatever you like. I like to see the hashtags. They make me feel happy and warm inside. Ray is better. Better. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that you are feeling better. That's good. Danielle is here. Hi. Hi, Danielle. Is that a new profile picture? I don't know. It's hard to see that. It looks like maybe your whole family? I don't know. Kelly is here. Mostly. Like, is your arm out the window or something? I don't know what that means. Hey, guys. Hey, Richard. How are you? How are you feeling? Hope you're feeling better as well. And, yeah, if you're here live, you can start commenting. You can comment the whole time that I'm talking. I'm going to do my spiel. I'm going to ignore the comments, and then I'm going to come back to the comments. I'm going to read the comments, and I'm not going to know what you're talking about because I didn't read them while you were typing them. But, anyway, that's a thing I like to do sometimes, just talk until I run out of breath. So, we're at the 2-minute mark. Why don't we just start and see if anybody else pops in today on this Saturday. I went upstairs to get wine because it's Saturday and I forgot to get it. Oh well, more for later. Anyway, feel free to have some if you like, but I was going to have some since I didn't do my live yesterday. Let us begin, shall we? Hell yes! Or no. No? I don't know. No? Maybe. I was going to call this yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. Something like that. This one, the idea for this one comes from the concept, you've probably heard this concept, where it's like when you're, this is like a big one in entrepreneurial circles. If it's not a hell yeah, then it's a hell no. You know, like, because we tend to say yes to a lot of things that don't help us along in our cause, aren't fulfilling to our purpose, aren't really a 10 in our book. You know, they're not the thing that our soul is striving to do. Like, I just want to do this. Well, you want to do this thing too? All right, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. And usually in entrepreneur land, we say yes to the hell no's because we're desperate for money. We just need a client. We just need a sale. We just need a thing. Will you do this for me for this money that I'm dangling in your face? Okay, that's not really what I want to be doing, but I'll do it. And we tend to say yes to a lot of things that really should be no's. Not no's, like no. Right? And so it's hard when you're trying to build something to discern what should be just the yeses, but our soul knows. We feel it. We feel what the hell yeses are. So the old saying goes, if it's not a hell yes, man, that just makes me so excited, then it's a no, which sounds great. It's like, okay, I'm going to do that from now on, except that doesn't work either. So let's talk about why that doesn't work, and maybe what we can do about it. And the reason I think it doesn't work is because that idea of it's either a hell yeah or it's a no makes everything in the universe work on a binary scale. It's either on or it's off. It's either yes or no. It's either salt or pepper. And it's like the universe doesn't work like that. There are all kinds of things in between. The universe is pretty powerful and is capable of comprehending and showing to you things other than two. You know, it can think of more than two things at a time. It can think of things on a scale. So, you know, I like scales, and even I do 3 things every day. So I've got 3 things for you today. So first of all, let's get rid of this yes or no scale and make it more like a spectrum where over here is hell yeah and over here is just soul sucking, oh my god, never again, please. Right? And I think no matter what you do on this end of the scale, on this crappy end of the scale, I think there are always things that are worse that we just don't ever do. So those we're not talking about those. Those aren't even on the plate. They're not even possibilities for us. So over here we have the hell yeahs, the things that we really want to do. And over here we have the things that are just like, why do I keep finding myself doing these things? And then there's all this crap in the middle. So number one is yes or number one, I'm going to talk about this on a scale of like 1 to 10. So 1 being over here, can't stand doing it. 10 being a hell yes, right? 1 to 5, let's just say this is the stuff we want to kind of eliminate from our life. This is number 1, right? 1 to 5 is the stuff we want to remove. We want to eliminate from our lives as quickly as we can. If we could just shut it off, then just shut it off, go cold turkey if you can, right? These are the activities that sort of dilute our energy. And they could be taking jobs or taking things that are just not, that are just wasting our time. They're I did this job because it was some quick cash, but now it's taking so much time that I have no time to go out and get the hell yes jobs that I really wish that I had. But it could be other things as well. It could just be time wasting things like or energy draining things like the people that you talk to. Maybe there are some people in this group that you need to eliminate from your life. It's like, why do can I come over and waste your time all day? Yeah, I guess, sure, why not? Why? Why is this person here? Why is this person on the phone with you? Why, just because they send you a message, are you now suddenly obligated to respond and spend the next hour and a half talking to them? You're not. These are the things that just the energy vampires, the things that just suck the life out of you. And it could be scrolling through Facebook. It could be looking at the news. It could be talking to so-and-so. Just fill in the blank with whoever that is, right? Or whoever they are multiply. If they're whatever. If there's a lot of them. I think you know what I mean. These are the things we got to, from 1 to 5, get rid of them, right? As quickly as you can. Now, sometimes we think that things from 1 to 9 are that. Like, man, this thing's kind of a 9, but it's not a hell yes, so I got to get rid of it from my life. And that could be, maybe the job that you have is a 1 or a 2, but maybe it's a 7 or an 8, but it's not the hell yes. So you're like, I quit my job, blah, 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 right? Sometimes things are in the 6 to 9 category, and I'm going to call those, this is number 2, I'm going to call the 6 to 9 range. They're not the hell yes. They're not the thing that, man, I just wish I could do all day, every day, but they are possibly foundational pieces, support pieces. Maybe they're there for funding. Maybe they're there for learning. Maybe they're there because without them, the hell yes just doesn't look right or just doesn't come out right. There's plenty of things in my hell yes that if I didn't do the stuff here, nobody would care about the hell yes. It's like I could do the hell yes stuff all day long, but I also have to do this stuff to make a complete package. As an example, maybe you love painting, but you don't love going to the store, buying the canvas and priming it or whatever you have to do. Do you have prime canvases? I have no idea. Let's say you have to prime canvases. You don't like doing that. But imagine if you skipped all the detail work and all the prep work and all the after the fact of painting work, and all you did was the painting. Well, how would you have a finished painting? Right? How would you have that? Because you have no canvases because you didn't go buy any. You didn't prepare them correctly. You didn't get them framed. You didn't bring them to, maybe you just love painting, but you never bring them anywhere. You never bring them to the market. You never bring them to the gallery. You never call people. You never network. You never offer them for sale. You never do anything with it. You just paint and paint and paint, and that's all you do all day long until they knock on the door and say, get out of this house. You're not paying for it, and that's that. Right? And that's what happens. So we can't only do the things that are 10 because sometimes the things that are 10 are just the fun parts of the bigger picture. We still need to do the foundational, the support pieces, the funding pieces even. So it might not necessarily be a hell yes, but it's still something that we got to do. And maybe right now it's something you have to do yourself, but over time you can look to replace it or outsource it. If we're talking about business practices. So there's that kind of stuff. Now, sometimes it's easy to, this is really the crux of this, because the point I'm trying to get to slowly is that there have been many pieces that fall in a 6 to 9 category for me that I mistook for a 1 to 5. And I've just been saying to myself, like, I don't want to do that, and I don't want to do that, and I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to get rid of it, and I'm just going to go, nah, 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 I don't have to do that, right? Just pretend that it's not there. I'm not doing that. I'm only doing this. And if you try to eliminate those things, then what happens is, like as I said, the 10s fall apart. You can't work on the 10 without the foundational part. You can't build a building. Let's say your 10 is hanging curtains. Right? Well, guess what? If you didn't put the foundation to the building and build the walls and put the window in place, there's nothing to hang the curtain on. You're going to go like this, and it's going to fall on the ground, and everyone's going to be like, why did you throw curtains on the ground? That's silly. Well, I love hanging curtains, so I just hang them everywhere because that's all I want to do. Well, you need a wall with a window and a building, and, it's got to match the paint. I don't know, right? You know where I'm going with this. There are other things that go along with it. So we still have to do these things. So here's kind of what I've been getting at for myself personally. I didn't like. There were many parts of what I'm doing with my business that I didn't want to do. And I was trying to figure out how to have a business without doing the parts that I didn't like. Well, it's not a hell yes, so that must mean it's a no. And I was trying to figure out, what was the point of marketing it this particular way? I don't like doing that, so I'm not going to do it. Or the typical business model, just using me as an example, the typical business model for somebody that's doing what you're watching me do is start a Facebook group, create some free content in the group, give them like half of what you know in the free content, maybe teach them the what and a little bit of the why, but then take the how part and turn that into a course and sell that, and I didn't like that way because I don't know how to filter what I'm talking about. I don't know how to tell you half the story on a Daily Fuel. I don't know how to, where's the line that I stop and it's like, if you would like the rest of this information, purchase it for $9.99. It's like, I don't know how to do that, and I don't like doing that, and I just went, screw that, I'm not going to do it. And so I created this thing called Quantasy Plus, where the Daily Fuel, we do it every day live in the group, but it's not in the group for very long. And then if you want to see the Daily Fuels, if you want to learn from them, if you want to catch up on them, if you want to refer back to them, they're in Quantasy Plus. And I was trying to figure out, how do I create something like that and market it without doing all the stuff that I don't want to do. And here's kind of what I landed on, is that for me, I'm not doing Daily Fuel so that I can create Quantasy Plus and sell that. What I'm doing is I created Quantasy Plus so I could support and fund my ability to do Daily Fuel. Daily Fuel is the 10 for me. That's it. That's what I want to do. I just want to get up here and talk every day. That's what it is. It's the 10. The 10 was never to build a membership website. That's just how I'm working on funding this so that I can keep doing it. If I can't fund it and I can't pay for it, I can't keep doing it. And so the whole thing's over, but it took me a while to figure that out. And the same thing with I want to make this movie. Well, if I want to make the movie and I want to make the music, this project that I want to do with Fuel Blue, there are so many other pieces to that aren't necessarily a hell yes 10, but it's like I still have to do them. I have to. It doesn't even matter what they are. Even just in the production cycle, it's like when you're making music, it's like, I just love to sing. Well, guess what? If you want to sing, you need music to sing over. And there's the working on the production side and the engineering side, and then you got to edit it, and then you got to put in the effects and stuff like that, and then you got to produce it, and there's all this other stuff, and some of it I like and some of it I don't like. But really, the main thing is just singing. But if all I did was come down here and stand in front of this microphone and just sing a cappella, then I'm not creating anything that I can share, that I can put out there. So there's a lot of 6 to 9s that I have to do that are the support pieces to the 10s. Does that make sense? But what happens is you try to get rid of those, you try to eliminate those. It causes a lot of stress. You're not funding what you're doing. You're not doing the support pieces for it. And then you think to yourself, there must be something wrong with my 10. I'm telling the universe this is what I want, but it isn't working out. So what did I do is I would run back to my 1s and 2s and be like, I'll just do websites for people. I'll just be a coach. I'll just sell I'll do things for $10 an hour or whatever. I'm being silly, but it's like I would go back to doing things that I already had learned how to sell in the past. But I don't want to do. That's not what I want to do anymore. That's a 1 and a 2. And now I'm just stressed out. It's like, okay, good. Well, I got some money, but now I got to do this crap. I don't want to do this job. I don't want to do this. This isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. I want to go back and do that. But you can't eliminate the stuff in the middle. Does that make sense? Sometimes these make more sense than because that made no sense. Okay, let's just go to the comments and see what you guys have to say. Maybe you guys can make some sense out of me. Where were we? Tony's here. Howdy. How are you? Nice to see you. Danielle, it's a family pic. Yes, okay, cool. It's like this big on my screen, so I couldn't see it, but it looks like a bunch of people standing against the wall. Robin's here. Margarita. Oh, nice. Yeah, I like margaritas. And Brandy is here. Hello, my Quantasy fam. Hello, Brandy. How are you? And Donna is also here. Hello, beautiful people, especially Bobby. Donna, you're the only one getting the message. It's like I'm very disappointed in everybody else, but you're my favorite. Marina is here. Hello. How are you? And is this really it? Oh, it's only a bunch of comments saying hello. That's it. All the comments are hello. Well, we're done. Have a nice day. Really? That's a first. So how do people work out their 1 to 10s? How do people work out their 1 to 10s? Well, you mean like how do they figure out what's a 1 and 1? Yeah, that's a really good question. So here's my take on that. I'm going to make this up on the fly because I've been working it out myself. There's even in the hospital, you get me. You push me that extra inch, and I love you for it. How do people work out their 1 to 10s? I'll tell you, dude. I don't always know the answer to that question. I really don't, because sometimes I don't know that it's always a straightforward answer. At least it's not for me. And if you have a way that it is, then by all means share it with me, because I would love to know it. But here's what I'm figuring out. I'm figuring out what my 10s are based on what really lights me up. And I know what my 1s are, and my 1s and my 2s and my 3s and stuff like that. Those are the things that to me are just low energy. And it's like I always know when I'm doing them that I'm just like, why am I doing this? It's just like I just you gotta become self-aware enough that you can see the difference. It's easy to see the difference between these. The 10 is just wow, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's the answer to that question, and it's like, what do you do for a living so that you can buy food tomorrow is usually the answer to this question. And if you can make them the same thing, that's wonderful. I think the problem comes with the stuff in the middle, because I would conflate everything in the middle with this end of the spectrum. I would just kind of take everything from 9 down and just go shoving it over here, and everything that's a 10 and a 10 is over here. And it was like two piles. This pile goes in the garbage. I'm only going to do this. And that doesn't really work because, like I said, a lot of this stuff in the middle is the foundation and the support pieces. So I think this really boils down to a tremendous amount of self-reflection and self-awareness and just meditative work to ask yourself, okay, these are the tasks ahead of me. Where do they feel on this spectrum? Where do they fit for me? If I didn't do this, would my life be better, or would my 10 just not work out? I can't make my movie without doing some of this technical nitty-gritty animation work that I don't really love to do. You know what it is for me is I'm a big idea person, but I'm not a details person. I would take the paintbrush and do this and this and this and this and this and be like, this is amazing. I can kind of see it coming into play. I don't really feel like putting all the details on everything. Like a brick building to me would just be a big red wall, but somebody else would be like, oh, let me get in there and do every oh, this pebble in the mortar right here. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, I'd be like, I'll get out of here with that shit. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do such tiny, minute details. I'm more of a broad stroke person, but I'm learning that the tiny, minute details aren't necessarily a 1 or a 2. They're an 8. I gotta put them in there, and the reason that they're an 8 is because I might not enjoy the idea of doing them, but once I'm kind of into doing it, I don't mind it so much anymore. And when it's done, it adds to that 10. It just adds so much flavor to it. It adds so much energy to it. Here's how you know. You know how you know? If you can't tell before it's time to do it, then do it. And ask yourself, how do I feel now, right? Working out, for example. Is that a 1 or is that an 8? Maybe you hate working out. I hate working out. But how do you feel after you did it? Wow. I'm really glad I did that this week because it feels amazing. I feel so much more energized now compared to, say, reading the newspaper, or watching CNN or Fox News or whatever you watch, right? You spend an hour doing that compared to an hour meditating or working out. I feel so much better now that I did it. I felt like I didn't have enough time to do it. I felt like it's not my favorite thing to do. But now that I did it, I feel amazing. So maybe that belongs in the 6, 7, 8, 9 category. Or I just watched the news, or I talked to that so-and-so person that I really know I shouldn't be talking to, and now I just feel like crap. I feel like crawling under the bed, in the bed, putting the covers over my head and weeping. It's like, that's a 1. You know what I mean? So sometimes we don't know until we do it. So try it. You're allowed to have trial and error. If you do a 1 once, you're not going to ruin your whole life. But if you end up doing 1s and 2s every day for 25 years, you're going to be like, where am I? What's going on here? So thanks for that question. Wow, look at all these comments. Finally, the comments. Okay, here we go. I have a comment. But I have a mouthful of salad, and I have to stop eating enough to type. Well, you can type with your mouth full. We don't mind. Nobody can see. That's your comment? Okay, let's see. I can help with this. It's a system I created, but it's also something I sell. I turned the answer to this into a product. It works incredibly well, and I think most people need it. Well, we should talk about that. Maybe it's something we can sell here. I shave a lot of trouble making time for the hard bits of business. I shave a lot of trouble making time for the hard bits of business. Like you put it aside, is that what you mean? Like you put time aside for the hard bits that you don't want to do? Sometimes it could be like the eat the frog thing, right? It's like, I got to do this thing. It's got to be done. Otherwise, I can't get to the 10, or the 10 won't be any good, but there's parts of it that I have to do. And so I'll just do it first, or I'll get it over with, or I'll put time aside that I can do it. And okay, it's time to do it. Let's do it. Is that what you mean? I think that's what you mean. I have. Okay. Okay, let's read that again. I have a lot of trouble. That makes so much more sense. I have a lot of trouble making time for the hard bits of business. Yeah. All right. Now I understand what you mean. Okay. Wow. Typos are funny. Yeah, I have a lot of trouble making time for the hard bits of business. Yeah, that's because you're trying to avoid them, right? It's like, oh, wow, that's really difficult. I don't enjoy doing that. I don't see the value in doing that. I want to get rid of that. And so we procrastinate on it, because it's not our favorite thing. It's something to work towards, but if you understand that that's what you do, then when you know you're doing it, then you have to be the parent and be like, you gotta do it. You gotta do your homework. You gotta do it. You gotta make your bed. You gotta brush your teeth. You gotta take your shower. You gotta do the thing. It's not our favorite thing, but it's got to be done. Hi, Marina. How are you? Nice to see you on Daily Fuel. It's Sunday over this side of the planet, and we've been in lockdown for like 2 weeks. #low energy. You guys are in lockdown again? I didn't know that. Oh, sorry to hear that. Lockdown? Like stay at home, can't go out kind of lockdown? What if you've been vaccinated already? Like even then you can't do things? That stinks. It is low energy, right? But here's the thing. Okay, I don't know what lockdown means exactly now, but I do remember when we went into lockdown last March, 2020 March. At that time, I said, okay, this is weird because it was the first time. Like by now, we're kind of used to this. We understand what's going on, and it's like, when's it going to end? But we've gotten a little bit used to it, I suppose, right? But then it was just like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Like, what are we doing? And I remember thinking to myself, okay, well, we have to go into all this lockdown, and we have to stay at home. And I remember thinking, well, this is going to save a lot of time in certain ways. It doesn't matter how, but I was going to have a lot more time on my hands. And I remember saying that I was going to use that time to really dive into my art and figure out like what I wanted to do with my music and my filmmaking. And fast forward to today, and this is where we're at. So maybe you can make a pact with yourself. Well, if I have to be in this situation, then I can use the time. Like, what is the gift here? If I'm not allowed to be doing this and this and this and this and this, I still have 24 hours in a day. What can I do with it? So maybe there's something you can do from home while you're stuck there to make it time worth spent. Tony, when I was building guitars, I loved it, but the time versus pay made it not feasible. The mundane, quick creations I've made were quick sells, but unfulfilling long term. But diversity, going back and forth from tens to twos, kind of balanced it out. So maybe, and I'm not going to tell you what the answer to your life is because I don't know. You have to feel it, But maybe you realize that I really love making these, but I can't figure out how to make enough money with it. But these things make more money, but they're not my favorite thing. Kind of like how I see some people in here being like, I'm a painter or I'm a this or I'm a that, and I keep getting asked to do commissions, but not in the style that I do. I don't know. Are they ones really? Like I just hate doing it and I refuse? In that case, you have to figure that out for yourself. Or are they like a 7 where it's like, well, it's still a lot of fun. It's not my favorite thing to do, but it's funding my favorite thing to do. It's giving me the ability and the time to do the favorite thing that I want to do. And, I'd rather do that than go work in the mines or the factory or wherever people work. Where do people work? I don't know. Okay, Bobby. I think I have an answer. And that answer is you have to have faith, and not give up too early. When things get crazy in your mind of how does it work, just like the serendipities come about, they will. If you keep on keeping on, because things do happen, when you put things out into the universe, keep doing the tens no matter what. Stop questioning so much. When you do even a little of the tens, it energizes you so much that things happen and will. Well, I like that attitude. I like the idea. And definitely you have to keep working on your tens because what would happen to me is I would get in this cycle where I would try to do only tens, or I would figure out how to just stick to the 10 to make things work out for me. And when that didn't work, I didn't realize it was because I had abandoned the support pieces that I needed, and I would just run back to the ones and twos because they were proven. It was like, well, I know I can get things going here. I know I can get this moving, and then I would try to find some joy in that. And at first, it was like the first checker or the first client that I got was like, okay, good, this works. All right, I'll just do this. Until I was into it again, I was just like, no, this isn't it. It sucks. It's just not what I want to do. So I would just say be careful of that. Because certainly faith. I'm not going to say now suddenly faith is out the window. Certainly it is still inside the window. But we have to understand where the support pieces lie and what we have to do for them. Donna, we are in hard lockdown, not allowed out. I personally love it. Wow, I didn't know that. Well, you love it, so it doesn't suck for you, right? So, but Marina, it sucks for you, it sounds like, so I'm sorry. Donna, congratulations. See, one person's 10 is another person's 1. So you never know. Anyway, that's the last comment now, unless more come in. But yeah. So anyway, this is I'm working through this. Some daily fuels are like, I've got the answer, here it is, and some daily fuels are like, this is something that I'm working through and I'm doing, and I just do it live, and you guys are my free therapists. So that's what today's was, and that's it. So thanks for hanging out with me. And Donna, I don't know how you're doing it, but you keep being like the last commenter. Although yesterday somebody swooped in at the very last second and stole it just as I was clicking the button. That was some hard knocks right there. If I would just shut up right now, you'd have the booby prize. But see, I don't know how to do that. And I got the big boobs again, she says. But no, Marina swoops in and takes it. I hate it. My family and friends live in another state. Oh, yeah. See, so you're stuck at home. So how does that work there? Like here in the United States, it's like 50 different sets of lockdowns, like New York might be, but then New Jersey decides on something else and other states decide on their own thing. Like how does it work in Australia? Is it like a nationwide thing, or do the states decide their own thing? Like I don't even know what are states in other countries. They don't teach us anything here. We know about America, and that's about it. Where didn't have it yesterday, Bob? Where didn't have it yesterday, Bob? What? Oh. Oh, we didn't do daily fuel yesterday. Is that what you mean? Like, yeah. Yesterday was a weird day for me. Sorry about that. We had to go out early, and I was trying to schedule it early, but there's so much to do, and then I was just like, I'm not going to be able to squeeze this in. I'm going to have to cut it short or something. And I was just like, yeah, you know what? We'll do it tomorrow. So that was that. We didn't have it yesterday, Bob. Yeah. I love your lives, Bobby. They help me go to sleep. You know what? You're kicked out of the group. I don't know if that was a compliment or a backhanded compliment. You're funny. Typo. Yeah, I got it. We didn't have one yesterday. Yeah, actually, we Americans sometimes don't even know about ourselves. No, we don't. We did. I make fun of us, but that's the truth. So now Robin has the booby prize. No, Richard does with a laughy face. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Hope you feel better, bud. And we'll see you soon. And we can definitely talk about that thing, because we'll talk privately. But not just other countries, but American history. Yes, I know. Guys, have a wonderful night. Tomorrow's Sunday, so no Daily Fuel. We'll be back on Monday as usual. And Donna's back with the booby prize. Last comment, yes, New South Wales is a big mess, so everyone has closed the borders to us. Got it. Okay, well, have a good night. Donna, you get the booby prize. Bye, guys. Thank you.